Have you ever wondered why some people who aren't necessarily financial wizards just seem to build wealth so easily? Well, today we're going to dive into the brilliant ideas from Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money. And we're about to find out why your success with money has way less to do with what you know and everything, and I mean everything, to do with how you act. So let's get right into it.
So, this right here, this question is the absolute core of the entire book. And honestly, it's a total game changer. Just think about it for a second. We're always taught that finance is all about spreadsheets, charts, complicated formulas, right? But what if the real key isn't buried in some textbook? What if it's actually inside our own heads? What if getting good with money is really just about mastering our own psychology? And that whole journey, it really starts with one simple fact. Our relationship with money is deeply, deeply personal. It's not just numbers on a screen, you know? It's a story we tell ourselves, one that's been shaped by every single one of our unique experiences. Okay, and this slide, this explains so much about why we all argue about money. I mean, think about it. You can have two incredibly smart people looking at the exact same investment. To one person, it's a terrifying risk. To the other, it's a golden opportunity. And the reason for that huge difference is simple. Their personal histories, their own money stories, are just completely different. So what this really means is that we've got to stop searching for that one perfect strategy, because guess what? It just doesn't exist. The real goal is to build a financial plan that actually fits your goals, your comfort with risk, and your values. At the end of the day, it's all about finding an approach that lets you sleep soundly at night. And you know that personal story of ours? It also includes these two huge forces we just can't control: luck and risk. They're like two sides of the same coin. It's so easy to credit all our successes to our own genius, right? And then blame every failure on a bad decision. But the honest truth is, luck and risk are always part of the equation. Getting this helps us stay humble when things go our way, and have a little compassion for ourselves and for others when they don't. And that's exactly why our financial plan has to be built tough enough to survive a dose of bad luck. Okay, so if our personal stories are totally unique and luck plays such a massive role, what can we actually control? It's a great question, right? Well, it turns out the single most powerful tool we have is, you guessed it, simply our own behavior. Look, you do not need a PhD in finance to win with money. You really don't. What you do need is the discipline to get a handle on your emotions. Real success isn't about these rare, brilliant moments. It's about being consistent day in and day out for a very long time. It's about staying calm when everyone else is freaking out. That right there is a true financial superpower. And here's the beautiful reason why that consistency is so ridiculously powerful: compounding. Now, compounding is kind of weird. It's not intuitive at all. For years, it feels like absolutely nothing is happening. You start small, you see some steady but kind of boring growth, then maybe some noticeable gains. But the real magic, that jaw-dropping, dramatic leap, that happens decades down the line. The hard part isn't doing the math, it's just having the patience to stick around long enough to actually witness it. This is such a simple but absolutely crucial point. Your main goal shouldn't be to chase the highest possible returns. Nope. It's to find pretty good, solid returns that you can stick with for the longest possible time. That's the secret. That's how you let the incredible magic of compounding do all the heavy lifting for you. All right, this brings us to a really important distinction. See, getting wealthy and staying wealthy, they are two completely different skills. Getting wealthy often requires taking on some risk, being optimistic, but staying wealthy, well, that requires something else entirely. And this is honestly one of my favorite concepts from the whole book. Being reasonable is way more important than being coldly rational. A financial plan might look rationally perfect on a spreadsheet, with the highest possible returns. But if it causes you so much stress that you panic and sell at the absolute worst moment, then it's a terrible plan for you. The reasonable plan, the one you can actually stick with without losing sleep, that's the one that's going to win in the long run, every single time. So, how do you actually build a reasonable plan that can survive all the curveballs life throws at you? Simple. You create a margin of safety. Just think of it like a financial cushion, a buffer against life's inevitable chaos. This means saving a bit more than you think you'll need. It means avoiding that soul-crushing, high-interest debt like the plague. And it means resisting that temptation to maximize every single dollar for returns. You're just building in some room for error, because trust me, errors are guaranteed to happen. Okay, so we've talked a lot about how to think about money, how to manage it, but let's take a step back and ask the big question. What's the point of all this anyway? What's the real bottom line? What's the actual goal we're all working towards? And the answer might surprise you. The ultimate goal isn't a bigger house or a flashier car. It's not about the stuff. According to Housel, the highest form of wealth is one thing: freedom. It's control over your own time. It's the freedom to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I can do whatever I want today. It's having the power to say yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. Now that is a goal worth working for. But, and this is a big but, to get that freedom, you have to do something that's actually really hard. You have to define what enough means for you. See, if you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, the goalposts will just keep moving forever. There will always be someone with more. The only way to win that dangerous game is to refuse to play, to step off that social comparison treadmill and decide on your own finish line.
So when you boil it all down, what's the central message here? It's actually refreshingly simple. Getting good with money isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about understanding yourself. It's about managing your own emotions. It's about being patient through all the ups and downs. And maybe most importantly, it's about avoiding those huge catastrophic mistakes. It just all comes back to behavior.
And let's end with this one powerful thought. Just forget about being perfect. It's impossible, and trying to be will just drive you crazy. Instead, just focus on being consistent. That's it. Make reasonably good decisions over and over and over again, and I promise you'll be amazed at where you end up. Thanks for joining me.